Hello, everyone. So let's start a new chapter. So we talked about my mother's death, and hey, I'm delivered. I'm free. I can cry. I can show my emotions. I don't care who sees me. So that's what freedom does to you. But you guys, like I said, everything just started happening when we first got married. So this is kind of funny. My husband, you know, back then, like I told you, you know, he ended up moving in my house. Well, he moved in my house because somebody broke into his apartment. So it's a situation. So he moved into my house. Now listen, so I prided myself on good credit. You know, I made good money. I started my career in leasing. I'm in property management. So I started way back then in like 2002 in the business. And so I was leasing apartments. I had lease ups. I was making good money. And my husband, he had a very good job and he made very good money. But my husband didn't know how to pay bills. He didn't like paying bills. My husband wasn't going to pay no tickets. It's funny now because, you know, you look back on things and you see how far that, you know, we grow. But back then, he just did not. And so we, you know, living, you know, we're married. We are living this married, holy Christian life. And guess what? You got about 1,000 parking tickets that you've never paid. So, like I said, stuff just started happening. I went to add my husband's on my insurance. The insurance dropped me. You know what I mean? I started getting all these phone calls, collections, and different stuff. And I was like, what is happening? So my husband, he ended up losing his job. It's like the enemy just started attacking him. And it's so crazy because, you know, you think you know somebody and you think, listen, you don't know how a person lives for real until they live with you. You know what I mean? You don't know people's morals and values sometimes until you're together in it. And so, you know, my husband knows about, we laugh and talk about this. So yeah, I can tell this story. And my husband just, you know, he was just real irresponsible with his money. You know, he had the money in his pocket, but he wasn't going to pay no bills with it. So getting married to me and having a complete opposite person. So I was like, what is even this? So we start, you know, dealing with financial issues and different things that was coming up out of the blue and everything. And we had to start getting much counseling, you know, marriage counseling and different things because I just didn't know how to compute that stuff. And like I said, next thing you know, my husband's father died. And my husband and his father had just kind of got into a better relationship. You know, that's his story to tell. But it hurt him. It did something. He gave him feelings and emotions he didn't think he had. And I was so emotionally still distraught about my mother's death. I couldn't be there for my husband. So I wasn't a good wife in that area at that time. Man, my husband needed me and I just could not be there for him. So not only did my mother die in the same year we got married, my husband's father died the same year we got married, and I was emotionally detached and he needed me to be there for him and I couldn't. Man, I walked out my husband's father's funeral. I couldn't take it. I couldn't deal with it. But I'm telling you all this to say, like, it went from one thing to another. And it's funny now about the finances and stuff of my husband's job because, of course, he got better and good credit, making more money, you know, than ever has businesses. But then I was like, oh, no way. I'm not going to be able to do this. But it was like one thing after another. So we'll get into it. It gets so crazy and deep, but I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.